What's happening, Woders and Woo? That's this your number one boy from New Orleans. And this is the Loudspeakers Network production. Y'all stay locked in, you hear me? Juvenile Nino.
Get ready for combat. No escaping. Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat. Yeah. The Combat Jack Radio Show.
Internet, you're tuned into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com. What's up, Premium?
What's going on, Combat?
Man, look who we have here, man.
Look at.
You know what I'm saying, man? It's amazing how times have changed. You know what I'm saying? How this whole hip-hop movement started in New York and then went out west. And look, we have one of the architects. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've had some other architects of the Southern hip-hop movement. You know, we've had Bun B. You know what I'm saying? Who else have we had? We've had Scarface on the show.
correct.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about a movement that has directly affected worldwide music as it is today, man. Internets, welcome to the Combat Jack Show. Juvie, the great Mr. Juvenile.
What it do? What's up?
Cheer.
Welcome to the Combat Jack Show, sir.
Man, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Some nice things going on here.
Yes, sir, man. Listen, man, I'm hearing like you're about to drop something, man. I'm seeing music on the internet and the whole nine.
Yeah, man. Awareness. Mardi Gras is coming.
Mardi Gras is coming. Tell us about this new project, sir.
Well, it's kind of like a compilation of everybody, New Orleans, old and new. You know, that's why I call it Mardi Gras, because it is like a representation of Mardi Gras. And a lot of these new cats don't have a platform to get a chance to get on, so that's what this is. I'm giving everybody a platform to do their thing, and also giving them some new music from me.
Okay. Is it a mixtape or is it an album? It's a
mixtape compilation.
Okay.
You know, a compilation mixtape, however you want to say it. It's a mixture of New Orleans artists, and I got other artists from outside. You know, but if they're from outside of New Orleans, they big artists. Okay,
which artists are? Can you tell us some of the artists that are on there?
Rick Ross.
Nice.
My man Future.
Nice.
Of course, I got Manny Fresh. We from home.
Yes.
I gotta say Manny Fresh.
Manny Fresh, what up?
We just bumped the Manny Fresh song all the way here, like wilding in the car.
Is it crazy?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
But so far, it's one of them.
Yo, Manny reached out to me, man. He listens to the show, man, and hopefully in the near future we can have him on.
Yeah, we gotta have that
man.
episode.
You gotta. We doing the Jazz
definitely.
Fest. We getting ready to do the Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
Okay.
April. Man, Manny is he's hilarious. I'm telling you.
Now let me ask you, sir. Are your goals, are your shines, are they permanent or are they?
They permanent.
They permanent.
Yeah.
They don't come out.
You see that, Combat?
Like how they put that on, man?
Oh man, this was a process.
Was it painful?
Because before I had these on, I had some other ones. Yeah, It was painful. You know, the process, but you know, once you get used to it, and I've been having them out for a long time. It don't bother me.
Yo, how is New Orleans, man?
It's we stable now.
Right.
I could say we're on an up-go right now. You know, everything is coming up. We got new businesses opening, a lot of franchises opening now and there. A lot of cats on the minority side opening businesses.
Really?
It's good.
My fear was after Katrina, and I want to get back to how Katrina affected you personally, but my fear was after Katrina that most of the cats that really held it down before that got moved out or be gentrified out. Is that what's happening?
A little bit of that.
Right, okay.
A little bit of that, because a lot of them didn't come back. I mean, our population got pretty much cut by 3/4.
Wow.
So, you know, it's a lot of people that's coming back slowly but surely, and the ones who are there, they starting to do some good things.
Now, you lost your home.
Yeah.
In Katrina.
Yeah, I lost my home.
Like, where were you when Katrina hit, man?
I was actually in Atlanta.
Okay.
And, you know, by me losing the house, I winded up staying in Atlanta for like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
But I built the house back home.
So you are back.
I've been there for a couple years now.
Okay, because the last thing I read, it said that you was living in Atlanta, but you back home.
Yeah, I've been home for like, let me see, maybe 4 or 5 years now.
Okay. Is there a big difference?
A big difference.
What's the difference, like, between old New Orleans and New Orleans today in 2015?
Man, you know, it's harder to get a club packed or get, before Katrina, we had all artists coming to New Orleans. Right. Well, now it's kind of like every so often, if they do come, it won't be a packed place because we don't have a lot of people.
Oh, because the people, that's right, the population is cut down, man.
So that's the only thing.
So let me ask you, where do people go for gumbo now these days?
They cook it at home. It's really a home thing.
So the best, because I mean, when I think of like gumbo, I think of New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know, I think of some of the best gumbo.
The best gumbo is from New Orleans, but it's cooked at home by a grandmother or mama. Or,
Not in no shop.
Yeah, come on, you know, it's never in the shop. It's always at the house.
You know, it's amazing how, you know, back in the day, it was rare to really hear, at least in the state, in New York State, it was rare to see cats representing New Orleans like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Master P and then y'all.
Master P opened it up for us.
And now I'm seeing, like, we've had Kevin Gates on the show.
Oh, Gates?
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, what's going on with the movement out there right now, the music-wise?
These new cats coming. They coming. You know, you go in a club, you know, look like Boosie opened that new door.
Boosie's been on the show, man.
I think what, man? You having everybody from the hometown. I'm glad I'm on the show now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man, but Boosie opened the door where a lot of the new cats from all over the state is doing their thing. Like Lil Cali, he part of the group with us now.
Okay.
He another cat that's right from I forgot the name of the town, but close to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And he got a following just like Boosie. He got pretty much got Boosie old fan base.
And then I saw a video that you did recently with this cat that I've been hearing about a lot, Young Greatness.
Young Greatness, yeah. Local cat from New Orleans.
Yeah. Moved
to Atlanta during another Katrina victim and just started doing his thing, man.
Okay. You guys did a record called Buku.
Buku.
That's a crazy
Buku.
video, man.
Yeah, man.
Now, when you were coming up, though, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about artists that are doing it right now and artists that have opened the door, and, like, you know, you talk about Master P and then, you know, this generation, you know, Boosie. Like, back when you were coming up, man, what local acts were you looking towards, or were there any local acts that you was really fucking with?
They were, but the main one was Gregory D and Manny Fresh.
Okay.
You know, that was kind of like, there was a shit. That was an era where it was before Tupac era.
Right.
And, you know, they was really all we had. So that was the biggest cast in New Orleans. Manny was making the best beats in New Orleans, man, since the early 80s.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
Since the early 80s?
Early 80s.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
And he had a record deal.
Wait a minute. How old is Manny, man?
Manny up there. Manny up there.
So Manny
first, I think their first record came out, their first major record came out in like 80, 87, 88.
87, damn.
Like that.
That's crazy. So, because I thought like you and Manny, all of y'all came up together.
Nah, Manny before everything.
Right.
And I'm I'm a little bit before Cash Money, but Manny is the first cat. I came like 91, 90.
Right.
Yeah.
And who was inspiring you, man, to get in the game?
A lot of cats, man, but the main cat, I can't lie, was Master P.
Master P.
You know, because it made everything close to us. You know, it felt like it was right there for us. I'm like, man, why he ain't signing me? You know, stuff like that. But I don't think he knew about me.
Right. Master P was 95, like 94, 95.
95. Crime rate was crazy in the city.
I remember that Bout It.
Yeah.
Record came out, and then the DVD, the VHS came out. And it was a whole different phenomena, but I bought it.
Yeah, man.
I bought the Bout It album, and I bought the video, man.
He put New Orleans on.
Yeah, definitely did, man. So,
kind of like what I'm doing, to be honest.
Right, but
it's kind of like the same. I never thought of that, but it's kind of like my Mardi Gras.
It was like,
thing.
but what he was doing was like the first wave. Like you know what I'm saying? Were all of y'all looking at Master P like, this is what we can do? He made it possible?
Yeah. Man, I was not only looking at him, I was just looking at the rappers on like, damn.
Right.
If I ain't better than him, I mean, if I'm not as good as him, I could be better than him. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking at it like that, if they could get on, I know what I could do.
How did you meet Baby and Slim? Like,
I've been knowing them because I had records out before they started their record company.
Right.
So they there was some cats that was trying to start their company, and they had a little artist named Kilo G. You know, he was really like doing a California rap thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like people in New Orleans weren't really feeling that like that.
Right. Because you sounded like California.
Yeah. And even back then, they knew I was that nigga.
Right.
They knew I was that nigga. I just was caught up in this record. I had a record deal in 91 with Warlock.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing. It was like when I start fucking with Cash Money, a lot of people was like, man, why you going backwards?
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because you were the cat that, in a sense,
I was bigger than the company.
You quote unquote made it out the hood.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and I think you even gave Cash Money like mainstream success. Like, you know, you like I mean, I'm not trying to go too forward, but you know, when you mentioned that he was the cat that did that. That's how I mean a lot of people feel that way.
Now, I would say this. When we worked on them albums, and it's the truth, when we went to the studio, we didn't know where the songs was going.
Right.
So we recorded a bunch of songs at one time, and whoever was next up, the hit records went on his album, and that's what happened. It was my turn up, and the hit records went on my album. So I don't want people to think that I went in the studio and I just recorded 400 Degrees or a Soulja Rag album, because that's not what happened. We did so many songs, man. I'm talking about every day like a job. We go to the studio like a lot of cats do now. We was doing that back then.
But what was it that convinced? Since you knew these cats, you knew the Williams brothers.
Yeah.
What made you start working with them?
Manny.
So Manny was down with them.
Manny Fresh, bro. When they got Manny, because Manny Fresh wasn't with them in the beginning. When they got Manny Fresh, and I heard that UNLV album, that did it. I knew that's where I wanted to be, because I wanted to be on that kind of music. I knew that's the kind of music I can make my hits on.
So they tell you we got Manny Fresh right now.
Yeah.
We got this Cash Money label.
I quit my job.
What kind of job was you doing?
I was a foreman, man. I was working on, doing
Union?
Yeah, well, yeah, union, but I was doing turnaround work at the plants.
And hold up, so you was doing the 9 to 5,
working,
and that's man work.
Matter of fact, I didn't quit. I took a leave of absence because I wasn't sure.
Yo, well, hold on. But what made you think that? What made you believe that this shit could be real? Because this shit is a dollar in a dream, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I got in the studio. They took me to the studio. They was working on BG album, because BG was there before me and Wayne.
Okay.
They was working on BG album. They took me to the studio and they let me hear some of the songs, and I was like, "Damn, all right." So it's not a fluke,
right?
Man, they really making these kind of beats. You know what I'm saying? So they put me on a song with Bun B, my first record.
Really?
On BG album.
Okay.
And
what track?
It took off.
Do you remember the track?
Damn. I can't remember the name of the song.
Oh, hold on.
They said, "Niggas, they coming to get you. You better watch your back before they motherfucking split you, niggas." Had Miss T singing on the hook.
Wait, hold up, man.
Yeah.
Hold up. So,
Bun B was around Cash Money before me. Crazy. I mean, actually running with him, hanging with him, running with him.
Were you, like, in a sense, like, intimidated or awestruck? Like, I can't believe it's Manny Fresh right here and it's fucking Bun B right here.
You won't laugh?
Yeah.
The song was done before I realized it was Bun B.
Really?
I mean, I had been running with him all day. We had been running, drinking, talking, but they never said they had calling him B all night. B,
okay.
B. They never said Bun. When they said Bun, when we were sitting in the hallway talking, and they said Bun B, I said, "Bun B, the king of the Hubble Trail?" Like, I'm in there tripping. I say, "Boy, I'm a fan." I said, "Man, why you sit around me all day, man?" He said, "Man, I thought you knew who I was."
Oh, you didn't even know that was Bun B.
Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't know it was Bun B.
Right, because you think your performance would have been a little different.
I didn't know that was Bun B, and hearing him rap, saying, "Damn, he sound familiar." Hearing the song like, "Damn, this dude sound familiar." I couldn't put it together. So
before you got in your zone, because you said it was already a stable. BG was signed to the label. Wayne was signed to the label. Before you got in your zone, you said that BG was like kind of like the head runner. Like he was.
BG was definitely the head runner. Him and Wayne was a group called the BGs.
Right.
And Wayne had a little incident where he shot himself in the chest. I forgot how it actually went, but he had an incident, and his mama didn't want him nowhere near rap.
Right. When you first met Wayne, what was your impression of him, man?
Witty, man. Young, just witty. Like, just knew the things that he was saying and the things he knew, you wouldn't believe somebody that young knew it. You was like,
how old was he?
Man, like, gotta be like 12, 11. I was like, man, how you know? It was amazing, like watching Arnold.
Right.
You knew Arnold was older, but you still looked at him as a kid because you're like, man, how you know that? That's how Wayne was.
Did you ever envision that he would be so big?
We were saying it. If you could rewind the tape and watch all our old interviews, Wayne is the future. Because we knew, we used to be in the studio and actually toning him down.
What do you mean toning him down?
he was young. He was cursing, and he was saying some stuff that a kid he ain't supposed to be saying. It's like, man, nah, man, my my little cousin like you. You know what I'm saying?
You trying to put him into like a more of like a crisscross.
Yeah, because he had little girls coming from everywhere looking for him, stalking him. So it was crazy. It was real crazy.
That's fascinating, man.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought from the outside looking in, I always thought you were kind of like, and Pete did touch on it, man. I always thought that.
Pause.
That's a good pause. I always thought you were like the LL of the label, like the label was built on your back, or like you were the foundation of the label. But from what you're saying, yes and no, because you came in, they already had an operation.
Yeah, I can't lie about that. Then they kind of like it was all group each album, not just my album, Wayne album too.
Right.
Every album that did good. It was group effort. It wasn't us going in the studio saying this song is for me. We didn't know where it was going.
Right. And you had been around, so you knew this was more home than anything else.
Yeah, and I liked the way it was being operated.
Right.
I liked it.
Was this before they did the deal with Universal? Or?
Yeah, it was before.
Because when that 400 Degrees hit, B.
And then you know what? I was next up.
You were next up.
I was next up after the big timers. I was next. It could have been BG, but I think he had a situation. He was locked up.
Okay.
So that's why the lineup got messed. The lineup got switched up to me being next.
So how was the first record through that Universal deal, or was the one that made that cemented that deal happening?
Universal kind of like ifed at us,
right?
And they I guess the amount of money we was asking for, they saw the numbers we was doing on a independent scale. I think they slept on us,
right?
And we dropped like a couple more albums, like the Hot Boys album, and dropped the Big Timers album and another BG CD while we was trying to get the deal together,
right? And what I remember the deal was something crazy like 20, 30 million,
like 30 million,
yeah.
And when we did that and they saw the numbers, they just gave in. Like, hell no, we can't let them leave New York.
When
like
you look
that.
back, man, and you guys were regional hits, was it only in New Orleans or was it throughout the whole southern region?
It was the whole, man, we had Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee. We was touching Ohio. So they saw we was doing some real damage. And this is the time when all these distribution companies was doing big, like Southwest and SOH. We was going through those.
And how many records were y'all selling at the time?
Man, we was in 100,000. We was like 400, 300, staying in that range. Not hitting, and if we hit gold, it was kind of like after we got the deal.
Right. So it was low cost.
Low cost.
Like not a lot of, what I'm saying, you doing.
We would record the album so quick.
Right.
Yeah.
And were y'all on like a tour? Did y'all go on tour?
We did touring. We had publicists everywhere. We was on a scale like a big artist. We did shows with big artists, and they had to open up for us.
Like who opened up for y'all? Like
I can't. Let me think. We had Too Short opening up for us. We had UGK opening up for us. We had 3-6 Mafia.
Damn.
It was the list was long. If you came in the South, you pretty much
Goody Mob,
I can't probably did.
Which is crazy because when Boosie came out, I remember one of the first shows that he did, Rick Ross opened for him.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like Rick Ross.
It's confusing until you go to the show.
You go there.
Yeah.
And you see like this is really what we fucking with down there. So when they start talking, like when the brothers start talking about the deal, are you involved in talking about it? Are you just hearing about it? Or are you
I was involved.
Okay.
I was involved.
And did you kind of feel a ways like, do we have to go to a major? Because we're comfortable right now.
I was the main one that didn't want to sign.
Right.
I didn't want to sign.
Why?
Because I thought we was gonna be a powerhouse, and I just thought we could do something that never been done.
Right.
I just thought if we just stayed grinding the way we was grinding, we could take the whole country without a major. We could be a major.
Right.
So maybe I was dreaming wrong, but that's what I thought.
And who came up with that number? Which one of y'all came up with the 30 million? Like we gotta get this money.
Oh, that's Slim.
Slim came up with that.
That's
number.
Slim, yeah.
And when he said that number, did you look at him like, brother, you crazy?
No. I mean, we was you know, you got to remember, before we signed to Universal, all of us was millionaires already.
Get the fuck out of here.
So we really went, we didn't care. We had all the cars. When they came down there and they saw the cars, and it was like, damn.
Jewels, the cars.
Like, man,
Y'all didn't rent them shits when they came out. Like, they coming
like,
down.
What?
Right?
What?
Now, explain to me, man, because Baby is such a fascinating individual, man.
Yeah.
He's obviously a brilliant businessman.
Yeah.
Shrewd businessman, but he's not that public. He's very private. What kind of cat is he, man?
I couldn't explain to you what kind of person he is, but I could tell you he's real family orientated.
Right.
He like to keep people around him and be around people that he been around all his life. So most of the time when you see him, when you see somebody around him, it be people he been knowing for a long time. I don't see too many new people around him.
Right.
Loyalty. Somebody that believes in loyalty.
He a studio rat. He one of them cats that sit in the studio, even if he ain't recording.
He just loves the studio.
He fascinated with studios.
So he loves the music.
He love it, yeah.
And he loves the production.
He one of them cats when you know we used to creatively sit down and make our songs. He'll be the one sitting there with you every day,
right?
Rhyme for rhyme, like, man, you need to do something like this. Oh man, you need to do something. He one of them kind of cats.
And you look at this new generation now. You look at Rich Gang.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You look at the Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug, and you see, you know, Baby in there. Like, he's still involved with that, or he's just.
I think so. But them cats, these two cats in particular, they got hell of a work ethic.
Yes.
So they came around. They had like 200 and something songs or something. They got a lot of songs already. So I've been in the studio with Rich Homie Quan one time and saw him record a bunch of songs in one night in a short period of time. And the same thing with Thug. And that's kind of like, I was like, man, that's how we used to be when we was younger.
Right.
So I was wondering if he did, but I don't know for sure, but I was wondering if he do work with him.
Right.
I'm not sure.
What was the creative process when y'all were doing 400 Degrees, man?
Again, we didn't even know we was doing 400 Degrees.
Right.
You know.
You were just doing records.
Exactly.
Right.
The title, the direction we was gonna go, what kind of album it was gonna be. We didn't do that. We just made records. And I think that was the good part about it. We didn't have a direction of what kind of album we was going to make or what fan base we was chasing. We just wanted to make good music.
I remember I was telling you this off air before we started recording. I had my law practice at the time. And I remember watching television in my office, MTV. I think it was MTV. Had to be MTV. And your video came on. And I just looked at that shit, and the beat sounded crazy. I never heard no beats like that. And I was like, I didn't understand everything you was saying, but just the way you kept throwing in the and then whoever shot the video, I was like, this shit's gonna be a hit. Like, how did y'all come up with that record, man?
I'm gonna tell you, that song is a spinoff of pretty much part of what got us the deal.
Okay.
The Soldier Rag album. I had a song called "Put Up a Soldier Rag," and
Soldier Rags was fire.
Yeah, it was kind of like me playing in third person, and I took that idea and made her, because they really wanted me to make a record like Soldier Rag.
Okay.
Soldier Rag blew the fuck up. So it was. So
they said make a different version of this.
They wanted, you know, it was like, man, can you do a record like that? I was like, man, I got to get drunk to do something like that. Like, I really got to be out of my mind.
So what was you drinking, man?
I was Hennessy'd up.
Hennessy'd
up? I
up?
was in Hennessy in Tennessee. That's where I was at.
And that track, though. That track.
And you know that's beef, right? I'm going to explain this to you.
Okay.
Manny will go in the studio and make a regular beat for you.
Right.
And then you'll go in there and do your vocals, and Manny will come back there and try to top you. So he did it to me again on that one, and I went back this particular time, did my vocals over.
Wait a minute. You was battling the producer.
I used to battle Manny. Straight competition.
Like, wait, how does that work? Like, my
Manny
vocals are going to shit on your track?
make a better beat. Yeah, exactly.
So how is a result of him, you laid down your shit.
Back That Ass Up and How was the last two songs we recorded on my album, because my album had to be turned in.
Right.
And we was on the road. We was in Nashville. Right?
In Tennessee.
And
Hennessy in Tennessee.
We back, that's the two songs them two songs in particular are the two songs we really was trying to top each other. Because I knew we was trying to shape the album. These two songs was added to shape the album. Like, I don't have a song.
It was like the bookends. It was the bookends of the album. But So who tapped out? Was it you that tapped out, or was it Manny? He was like, fuck it.
He won on me because he went back on the back that ass up. See, he tricked me with the back that ass up.
Yo, you
he
gotta
went back again and did it over. He did change the music up.
You got to PSA this because combat internets need to know. Somebody like Manny Fresh, hip hop owes like a 401k to.
Yeah.
Know? Because of shit like that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Every producer, and be aware, if you do give me a beat, I am trying to beat you out.
Right.
If a rapper do a song with me, I'm trying to beat him out. That's just the nature of the business.
So
why do a song with him if I'm not trying to beat you out? I'm trying to get your ass on every aspect. I want when a song
as it should be.
Juvie killed that motherfucker.
As it
that's
should
how
be.
I feel.
Now I'm trying to get the dynamics of this, man. You guys already were millionaires, right?
Yeah.
How comes out? The deal is out. How's your life change?
Not really much then, because I'm telling you a lot of things. I didn't have to go. A lot of things. I'm gonna give you a prime example. We went on the road with we went on the road with. First we did a solo tour. Then we went on the road with the Rough Riders.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
We came up here and they had Benzes and stuff like that. And I'm trying to shit on them,
right.
But they had their Benzes, right? When we got to the South, like at the end of the tour and shit, we went to the Cash Money Mansion, and I just so happened to be over there. I was over there like all week, so I had like 6 cars parked there. They was walking down like, damn, who these cars for? Like, damn, like man, all these cars is for Juvie.
Yeah,
like all this shit is for Juvie. Everything yellow, lined up. You know what I'm saying?
Yellow's your shit.
Yellow Hummer, yellow Viper, yellow Benz, all that shit. Just like I said on the song. So they, it was like. I wasn't trying to flex on them. My
right.
whole thing was, man, we've been collecting these cars long before we got the deal.
Right. So
I ain't really had to do too much. I had a house, all that shit already.
So and bills paid, everything.
Yeah, I was good.
So Hot Drops, it's starting to it's making an impact. But you talked about coming to New York and the record was out, nobody knew who you was.
Man, listen, I came to New York, walk up and down the street. Everywhere we was by the Coliseum in Queens.
In Queens,
walking up and down the street,
right.
Smoking and everything. Nobody knew who I was.
Right.
And my album was out. The song was out. Nobody knew who I was.
But they knew, and that was a big difference because back home,
that was the weird.
Everybody knew who you was, right?
I couldn't move in Atlanta.
Right.
Like if I get out of, they rush me in Atlanta. At back home, Houston, same thing, but up there, they didn't know me, man.
How'd that feel, man? Was it a good feeling? Like I could breathe, or was it like, damn, I feel like
pissed.
a bum?
I was pissed. I wanted everybody to know me. I was telling people who I was, man. I'm Juvie. Hey, man.
Yo, you remind me of like Combat in the elevator in A3C. You know, I remember when we just started the show a couple years in, we were in the elevator, and he was like, "You ever heard of the Combat Jack Show?" And they're like, "Nah." And then next year, he was like, "You ever heard of the Combat Jack Show?" And then after that, like people were like, "Oh, that's my shit." Yeah. You know, people started taking pictures with motherfuckers, like, you know.
That's how it should be, man.
And then how did Jay-Z get on? How did he get on the remix? Because that's when it was like, not saying that Jay-Z crowbarred y'all into New York, but he damn near put his fingerprint on like that.
Shout out to my dude Envy, man. Envy was, I pay attention to things. Envy was one of them cats that was just on it.
DJ
early.
Envy.
DJ Envy.
Yes.
He was on it early, and he convinced Flex to listen to it. And
what do you mean, like Flex wasn't trying to listen to it at first? Or?
I don't think Flex was.
Right.
I don't know if Flex just liked it the first time he heard it. I don't know if he probably liked it the first time, but I know Envy was the cat had the record first. And man, matter of fact, he didn't know because we went to Flex first.
Right.
I'm thinking about it, and the next time we came back, Flex was like, "Yo, I apologize." He was like, "I'm sorry.
Shit.
I'm sorry. I didn't know, man.
Right.
I didn't know. Yo, Cash Money, just dropping bombs and playing it back to back." The next time I came up here, and then when we got back home, we hear about Jay-Z doing the record. I'm like, "What?" Boy, man, we was Jay-Z'd out down there. And it was fresh. He was just starting to blow up down bottom.
Right.
So it was real fresh.
And he was raw back then.
Yeah. So I'm like,
this do-rag Jay.
Yeah. Just go in and just spit. Ain't write nothing. Just off the dome.
So you heard he was doing it? Or
Man, I ain't know nothing until I heard it.
Okay.
And it's people that I knew from up here calling. Yo, Jaden, man, it's over, man. I'm telling you, it's over. I'm like, what, man? What's over? He said, man, I'm telling you, man, Flex dropping bombs on it right now. He said they been playing it for 30 minutes. I said, man, you lying. He said, man, I'm telling you, man, you're going to have to come back up here. Like the next week, Flex was calling to get me in the tunnel.
Right.
It's like,
that's
damn.
crazy. When you first heard that version, man, what was your reaction?
I was tripping off it. He gave me a shout out. Oh, man. You know, I had that on major blast in the car with the top down, riding every part of New Orleans. Mel for me, Magnolia, Loud. He's like, that's Jay on there. You messed up the
Jay, right?
Juveniles and Jiggers. Yeah.
Yo.
Cheer.
And then you come back to New York, it's a whole different thing. When you came back to the tunnel.
It's crazy. It's off the chain.
Snatch getting thrown at you.
Now they telling me, man, you performing in the tunnel? Say, bruh, they boo people in the tunnel, man. I mean, they saying, I'm like, man, they said, man, the last person to come here from out of state and rock the tunnel was Snoop Dogg in 94.
Wow.
I'm like, damn, nigga. They said, yeah, man, we don't know about the tunnel. So
Wait, who's telling you this?
man, everybody.
Right.
Cats, you know, like cats who fan who saw the video, they walking up. Like, man, you doing the tunnel?
Yeah, I don't know about that tunnel.
Man, what you singing? Like, they was concerned about what I was singing.
Right.
It was like, man, you better sing Han, and you might start it off with Han. Nigga, I think that's the only song I sung, nigga. Them niggas took their shirts off and everything in that bitch. We was
crazy,
Hennessy
man.
out wilding in there all
Crazy,
night.
man. Good for you, man.
I made it, though. I'm glad I did make it.
So that song comes out, the album comes out, back that ass up.
Crazy.
Back that ass up, man.
And again, a song that I didn't think, because I originally made that because I'm the king of bounce. I'm the cat started the whole bounce trend in New Orleans. So I felt like I had to put a song, my first record deal, I got to do a song for my people at home. So I did that song solely for New Orleans. Never know
That it was going to break
No,
everywhere.
And so it was funny because I wanted 400 Degrees to be my next single instead of that.
Right.
And I was like, man, everybody like back that ass up. I said, man, we can't squeeze 400 in there nowhere because everybody like 400. And that's still today, when I do my show, that's my first song I start my shows off with 400 Degrees. So I started off with 400 and then went back to that.
And was it Baby that was arguing with you, or was it Slim?
Nah, it just was all of us collectively.
Right.
And they was right. I was wrong about it. Especially Manny. Manny like, man, back that ass up the one. I'm telling you.
And Manny would know.
Manny always was right. Always right.
Did it change in that now you had Universal cats also interfering with the process or involved with the process, or was it still like, let them do what they do?
Nah, they ain't like, one thing, they wasn't having that. You ain't no interfering.
Right.
We work how we work, the way we work, and that's the way it's going to stay. They don't let nobody interfere with nothing.
So you come out brand new, well, to us it's a brand new label,
Yeah.
and your album sells 4 million units. 4 million. Like you said, you wasn't even cracking gold, and you was hot, but you wasn't cracking gold.
A year later.
You sell
Whole year later.
4 million units.
That was amazing to me, man.
Then y'all do, was right after that, is that when y'all dropped the Hot Boys?
We dropped the Hot Boys after that.
And that sold a million, right?
Like I think it's 2.
2
I think
million.
It's 2 million. Yeah.
2 million. Your next record sells 2 million.
Yeah.
So, like, what's going on, man? Like, what's going on in this time?
I'm having a ball.
Right.
I'm enjoying it. I'm making babies.
Literally.
I'm enjoying it,
Right.
making babies. You know, I got married and settled down. You know, and it's and I'm still there now.
I'm sure a lot of babies hit the sink, the toilet, the
Hey,
bed sheets.
Hey.
I mean, listen, what do you mean? 4 million units? What the fuck you think was going on, Combat?
Hey.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Jude.
So, but so things are going well. You're on the hottest upstart label right now. You knocking shit out the park that the big boys can't knock out. You know what I'm saying? And it's home. It's a comfortable home situation for you. What changes? When do you realize shit ain't right?
Oh man, it's just me back checking things. You
Right.
know, just like man, I'm me thinking I should have got this when you know when the money came,
Right.
when the payoff days came, the royalties day came. Just didn't like the numbers,
Right.
And
Because you
I
sold.
got my lawyer. I got lawyered up,
Right.
and you know, like I said, the numbers wasn't right,
Right.
and it was straight up about the money, straight about the money.
Because you sold altogether like 8 million records. About 8 million records. And you get a lawyer. How did you sign? Like when you signed the Cash Money, was there a lawyer around?
Wasn't a lawyer because it was more like a brotherhood.
Right.
And we wasn't thinking of no lawyers. We didn't think we was going to make it past local.
Handshake deal, like a handshake deal?
Man, back then it wasn't even a handshake. It was like, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm tired of being in the hood. Let's do this.
Get out.
I don't care. Like I won't get out. We had the same. All of us had the same dream.
When y'all was coming up, like when y'all was forming, was it?
But we thought all of us thought we had part of the company.
Okay.
That's what it real. When the deal came, that's what our understanding was.
Right.
You know, and it really wasn't.
Okay.
But I wasn't mad about it. I just wanted to be compensated for it.
Right. Let me backtrack a bit, man. As you guys are coming up, as you guys are really establishing the Cash Money brand, are y'all real competitive with like No Limit? Like, are y'all like, we about to show them, or is it like paying homage to them? Like, what was that? What was the attitude with that?
It was definitely competing.
Right.
Definitely competing because we wanted to be the biggest company in New Orleans.
Right.
It's kind of hard when you got two companies in the city.
In the same city.
And they really kind of like on top of the music industry. You would think it's room, but it's not enough room.
Right.
I mean, especially with No Limit with 100 artists and us with just like 5 or 6.
Yo, they damn sure did have 100 artists.
Yeah,
but even in the back of the day, I remember rumors that like y'all didn't like each other. I mean,
it wasn't like that because I was cool with Mystical. You know, we used to see each other in the club and drink. Soldier Slim from the Magnolia. That's somebody that was a friend of mine since kids. Been around me since forever, man. I watched him grow up. So
it was cool, but it was like a different team.
The people, it was more of a, to the fans, we didn't care how you took it in because we was trying to make money. So if having that thought in your head meant you picking a side and buying my record, so be it.
Right.
Fans are always paint some entertainment shit that may not be true.
How did you get on the and then going back again after you did the Ha remix? How did you get on Jay-Z's album?
He called.
He called.
Yep, he called. He said he got something he want to put me on. He called.
Who did that track? Was it Timbaland? Who did that?
Timbaland.
The Snoopy track, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Were you in the studio with
Nah, they sent it to me. They sent it to me.
And you did the hook, right?
I did the hook.
That was a good song, man. I think that wasn't one of my favorite Jay-Z albums, but that was a good song on that album.
Yeah, the album, man. That was he was in a controversial time with the Big Buck thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tense time. It was him.
Tense, yeah.
It was Puff going through that shit too.
Trying to, the court thing. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you find out that things are not right. Your lawyer's educating you now on your contract. Yeah. And it's not. Is it personal, or how is it when you bringing this up?
I was taking it personal at first because I thought it was all family. I thought it was all love. So I was like, man, I can't believe he'll do me that. I can't believe he'll do this.
And what are they telling you?
I stopped talking. We weren't talking. It was just lawyers.
Stop talking.
Yeah, I want no more. Once the lawyers got involved, my lawyer's like, it's not in your best interest to have a conversation.
Right.
And
y'all never seen each other around the way or around movements and
the shit get hot.
I mean, yeah, it would, but that's the reason why we stayed away from each other.
Because you knew shit would lick off.
Like, I'm not looking for trouble if I'm trying to get my money and I got the lawyer on it. Why? I'm definitely not gonna get my money then.
Now the rumor is like in terms of like the whole Cash Money posse, you was the livest nigga in the crew.
I'm from the hood, bro.
Aren't they from the hood? Like, aren't they from the Know Your Projects?
Not everybody. Not everybody from the Magnolia. Baby from like around the Melf.
Okay, what's that?
You know what I'm saying? But he used to be in the Magnolia, the Melf. He one of them cat. He been in a little bit everywhere. I gotta give him his credit on that.
But you was in the midst of that.
Let me tell you my life, bro. My mama lived in the Magnolia. My grandmother lived in the Magnolia. My mama stayed in the Melfamine. My grandfather stayed by the St. Thomas Project. I was born
generations
a block away from the St. Thomas Project.
Right.
My whole life is the project.
Thorough.
Everything I just named is projects.
Right.
So, for me, I grew up on the rough side. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody who had it. I ain't have it good like everybody else. And I don't sob story. I don't want people to feel my sob story.
So other cats had it better than you.
Yeah.
So if it came down to it, you was like, whatever.
Yeah, but
Just
I
get
ain't
it
not,
popping.
I mean, I'm a man.
Right.
I'm a man, but everybody know how I rock though. When it came down to me, I'm about me to the fullest.
Combat. I tell you, before you get into that, I do want to say, I want your opinion on this. We touched on Baby a little, but
Pause.
good pause right there. But yo,
Truvy's looking at us like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
yeah, we played a pause game. You know, we played a pause game. Nah, but when you think back of it, and you go back, like Baby to me has always like. It's funny I had to say it like this, but he preyed on like younger talent, like like Wayne was like 12 or BG or Turk, like.
But was he preying on him, or was it an organic relationship?
No, the reason why I'm saying is it looks like a cycle, because even now, then it was younger dudes like Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug. Point I'm making is like when you talk about like people who may not have that much experience in knowing their contracts, their lawyers. I don't know if this feels like a cycle. You know what I mean? Of like praying after young men. Pause to that, but that's how I feel.
Wait, let me. Can I say something? Can I say something before?
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like, this is the entertainment business.
Yeah,
and it's a manufacturing. It's like
from you know what? From a lawyer stand, you see how I see it, man. Don't be so naive that you think this ain't a business, because a lot of us think I was naive to the fact that I put friendship with business. You can't. They do not. And I'm telling you, they do not run together. No kind of way. If it's a friend, usually it won't be a good thing to do business with them. For me, maybe not for everybody, but for me, they don't work good. I'd rather do business with people that I'm not friends with. But
going back to what Pete said, it's like you gotta keep putting new talent out there.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like some situations are, man, you got to be smart and think for yourself, like protect yourself. Like, like you have a lawyer, of course have a lawyer, but don't have any kind of lawyer. Have an entertainment lawyer, because I didn't see any kind of lawyers get whipped up too. So you got to be prepared for situations. Understand what mechanical royalties is. Right. Understand publishing credits. Yeah. Understand, like a lot of things, artists don't even know publishing splits. I know it because I tell it to them all the time. Right. I have to sit down and literally, I do producers, artist contracts with my lawyer all the time, and I see cats don't understand splits. Cats don't understand mechanical royalties. They don't even understand the difference between net and gross. Right. So it's a learning experience that you have to have in order to be in this business. I think it's your duty to learn the business if you're going to be successful, especially selling a lot of records.
And it's important for like OGs like you to teach the younger dudes to understand that, because obviously it's a different time now. But what's even more amazing is like even kids from the street that may not even be involved in music, but they're learning maybe how to like maybe own some property or like credit. Like the time has changed, but back then, I'm thinking it could have been it's signed with Cash Money. People don't know to get a lawyer. They didn't know this shit. Like you didn't know.
I'm telling you, we all were not was naive.
You wasn't supposed to know that.
But I mean, let me be honest. They didn't know a lot of business either. So let's say that a lot of things that came up to a point, it was money sitting around places that they didn't even know nothing about. So where you before you go to pointing the finger and saying things, you gotta really. For me, I had to really sit back and realize, wait, hold up, I'm getting mad about things that we all learned together.
We're learning,
and a lot of this money that I'm blaming them for. They got beat out it too,
right?
So
because they dealing with the big boys now. And no shots, but Universal know what to do with that money.
Exactly.
Universal knows how to slow that pipeline down, B. That I know for a fact. So you okay? Going back.
That's another thing. Yeah. I learned that. I had to sit back and realize that too. Like, hey, man. Maybe I ain't the only person that got a learning curve.
We all got to learn this. Yeah. So when you start asking questions, when you start going through this, man, how hard is it, man? You came up with these guys. You guys made history. This is a family. Like, how is it now I know you're emotional, but how hard is it to walk away from that shit, man? To not talk to these cats, to be like, I don't want to be down with Cash Money anymore.
It was hard, man.
Right.
It's hard. It's like shutting off your brother, man, and disconnecting just everything. Just saying, man, this is more important. My family, my immediate family, my kids, more important. I got a son suffer from leukemia right now, and that's one of the most important things in my life. So even me coming back to Cash Money. My son love Wayne. My son love Baby. He, you know what I'm saying? It excites him just to know that his dad's back doing music and doing things like that. So I don't live for me, you know, of course I want to be back in the game and make music, but just to you know, do something out to make my family happy, make my son, because I won't be the biggest, I won't be the hero in my kids' life, and that mean more to me than anything.
But were they mad at you?
Well, my kids?
No, I'm saying was everybody on the label mad at you?
No, I mean, yeah, hell yeah.
You were trying to educate some of these cats, like, yo, man, this shit might not be right. Who was you talking to, like, in terms of the contract?
I try to talk to everybody. Right. I try to talk to everybody, but
you talk to Manny?
You know, try to talk to Manny.
You talk to Wayne?
Yeah, everybody. I try to pull everybody together in the huddle.
Oh, like a union? Let's get this union?
Yeah.
And what was they telling you, man? Like, you fucking this shit up?
I really was, like, I was wrong in a sense.
Right.
Because I wasn't, you know, when I sit back and think about it, like, man, they was young. Right. We all were young. Right. And, you know, maybe the way I went about saying it and the time I chose to do it wasn't the perfect time.
How was you saying it,
I was mad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say it right. I came off wrong. So, you know, maybe that too.
They were like, that nigga crazy.
I take fault in my wrong, but I had a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got ostracized in a sense because somebody went back and told.
I don't know who told, but somebody told.
Somebody told Baby?
Yeah, they knew everything.
So they called you to the office or what, man?
They sent for him.
Nah, they I can't remember what actually happened. Because it's been so long ago, I can't remember what actually happened.
Right.
But, you know, we had to sit down and talk about, you know, what was going to be my next move and you know, what I was going to do when I'm going to get back to the studio and work on the album, and there's a lot of stuff.
And they started saying, well, I know you said this and that, you said this.
They kind of knew I was on my way out.
Right. Now, interestingly enough, man, when you're going through this situation and it starts being public, and thank God the internet wasn't around at the time, but you're going through this thing and a stranger like Ice Cube reached out to you.
Oh, that's after the Katrina.
Okay.
And it was more of like a help me out with my people.
So it didn't have nothing to do with
No.
Okay.
No.
So
we do have same kind of walks though.
Right, because you know, Ice Cube was going through the whole situation with his label, man.
Yeah.
You know, what happened, man? What happened how'd you build a relationship with him?
Well, we didn't build a relationship.
Okay.
I never really got an opportunity to have a long conversation with him.
Right.
It was more of like, man, I'm just calling to see if you okay.
With the whole Katrina thing.
Yeah. And you know, me, I was like, man, I'm okay, man, but my people with me, I got all these people on the bus, man. I kind of picked up a lot of people. Man, you know, when it's in turmoil, you trying to help whoever.
Right.
Man, I had guns and all kind of stuff. The police pulled me over and found guns, and they realized what was going on. We told them our story. They was in tears. They let us go.
Because it was
like,
crazy.
man, I don't know what's on here, man.
Right,
You got to just take me.
Right.
Like, man, you say, you do a gun? I say, hey, look, man, it might be all kind of guns on here. And, you know, Cube kind of like stabilized us in Atlanta for a minute.
Okay, so he held y'all down. Like he sent you some money and a whole nine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, last year you signed back to Cash Money.
Yeah.
What happened, man?
Man, we worked it out.
Right.
We said we worked it out. You know, I had been
back royalties got paid.
Yeah. Well, I had already done that.
Okay.
That was the thing. We had negotiated that years ago.
Right.
That's how the Juvenile Great album even came out.
Okay.
So the business was done
the slow motion record.
Yeah, that's how that even
That's
came
a great
about.
record, man.
Thank you.
That's a great record. Did Manny do that record also?
Nah, it actually was a guy named Danny that Soulja Slim produced.
Okay. Now that's a great record. So you guys worked it out, but you was signed directly to Atlantic at the time, right? Afterwards, right?
Yeah, when I left after the Juvenile Great
Okay.
album.
And so like, but how was it coming back to Cash Money, man?
I really still don't have the full feeling because the music got to come out.
Right.
You know, when we got to actually be on stage and hit a tour, then I think it's gonna really kick in. But I'm getting some of the feelings now. You know, the feeling that I'm getting is now, man, it's gonna be a lot of work.
Right.
You know, and it's starting to kick in. I haven't even had a meeting with Universal. I'm having a meeting with Universal Friday morning.
Okay.
My first meeting. So
okay.
It's getting back in order right now.
You're at the beginning of this thing, and I think that, you know, out of all the deals that I've seen happen, the Cash Money deal is the most successful deal in the history, other than like say a Def Jam. You know, Cash Money is becoming like that Def Jam where you guys have that legacy. What do you think of the new artists now that surround you, man? Like the Drakes and like the extension, like the Young Money and the Drakes and the Nickies and the you know, Rich Gang and the whole nine.
Man, it's crazy, man. Just to see the numbers, some of the numbers that they do with single sales. Not only single sales, the shows, the impact they have on touring. I mean, Drake went out there and he was doing, like he said, One Direction numbers.
Right.
I went out there myself with him and seen for myself, you know, my own eye, what kind of show he do. He get down.
And these are artists that are not from New Orleans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yo, what do you think of the boy Drake, man?
That's kind of creative. I mean, you got to give him props, man. Being from Canada and coming, you know, to the States and actually, you know, it's not. I don't think it's how many Canadian artists they have come here that really.
Not. I don't. I think he's like really.
And then he's singing and he rapping.
And he rapping good.
Yeah,
that boy rapping
game
good.
changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
You know, I don't understand.
You got a lot of people mimicking Drake right now.
I mean, Drake changed the game.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I understand you don't have to like everything, but I can't understand cats that don't give it up to Drake, man.
They don't.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
That's one of the reasons. Because he's not from here.
Right.
Yeah, I think if he was, you know, United States born, they'll give him more props.
Right. And then Nicki. What do you think of Nicki, man?
Most talented female rapper ever.
You think so? Ever?
Yeah,
of all time?
Ever.
That girl can spit, man.
And no disrespect to, because I don't want to get it twisted.
Right.
Eve and Lil Kim, they did their thing. But
Foxy.
Roxy.
You been in the same room with Nicki?
I never been in the same room.
Oh,
with
so
Nicki.
you don't know what she smelled like?
Nah.
She look like she
She smell good.
I ain't sniffing.
Put that finger on that dude.
What
Not
about,
Juvie.
what about like the
I'm
whole
M'd
Rich
up.
Gang thing, man? Like the whole, you know what I'm saying, like Rich Homie Quan. Now it's a whole different generation, man. Rich Homie.
So I think Rich Homie, he not with Rich Gang.
Well, he took like a little hiatus or something like that.
I don't know. Like I really don't know.
Right.
But Rich Gang is management. You know, that's what they doing for us.
Do you feel like you're the uncle of these kids right now, man? Because you know what I'm saying.
They call me uncle.
They call you uncle.
Yeah, all of them.
Uncle Juvie?
Uncle Juvie. Yep.
Going back to Wayne, man. Like you said, you knew he was gonna be a superstar.
Yeah.
And then you seen it happening. Did you think it happened in the right time? Or did it take too long?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Is it kind of strange, man, that you now see Wayne going through the issues that you went through?
It is. Yeah, I don't want to see nobody go through that. And be honest, I wish they work it out.
Right.
I really wish they work it out.
Kiss and make up.
Whatever works it out. I ain't kiss and make up.
Nah, I mean, listen, I'm Italian. We kiss on the cheek. I mean, so, you know, for me, it took me a long time to ever understand that, you know.
Understand what?
To kiss someone on the mouth. I mean, look, no disrespect. I'm being, yeah. I mean,
He went left on me.
Yeah. He
no,
went
I'm
up on
sorry,
me,
but
too.
I'm just saying, you know, I still never understand just, you know, you being inside Cash Money and stuff like that. I mean, you know, people just see Wayne and Birdman doing that. You know, like you know, I mean, look, let's keep it real. Like,
relationship.
who kisses on the, you know, I'm not questioning you in a sense, but in general, I'm saying father, son, I don't know
Roberta's
who
shaking her
kisses each
head
other
like-
on the mouth.
I ain't speaking on that one.
I mean, you know, you don't kiss your son on the mouth, you know? Like Spanish people sometimes do that, you know,
Hey,
like mothers and, you know, their sons.
Not Juvie.
Yeah. But do you think, like, is how does it feel that you're back at the label now, man? And this turmoil is going on right now. How is it?
It's family.
Right.
So it's one of them situations where you just don't get in it. You stay away from it.
Right.
You know, I have many opinions, 1,000 opinions, but they for me to keep to myself and under the roof of my house, the confines of my house, and to myself.
Some people are saying that they think this might be like the death of the dynasty, man, or like kind of like what The Rock went through, man. You kind of feel that?
Man, The Rock popping again.
Right. But I'm saying it's not the same Rock. It's not the Cameron and Kanye and Jigga and Dipset. You know what I'm saying? And Beanie and Free. You know what I'm saying?
But it's popping though.
Yeah, it's popping. but do you think that's something? Because it's also personal, and you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there. You know how it is with his family, and y'all could work it out, but it's not.
I don't spend I'm gonna be straight honest with you, Jack.
Right.
I do not spend my days and my night thinking about that.
Okay.
I spend my days and my night worrying about what I got going
Right.
on. Because at the end of the day, I don't make the decision, and the way I feel won't change the outcome of that situation anyway.
Right.
It's gonna be the way they feel.
Right.
So it's like, why worry about something you can't stick your hand?
So basically, you saying you don't you know it's none of your business.
It's really not. That's why I say that's family. They gonna,
Right. And
usually when you get in family business, you wind up being the one being
Well,
on
grown folk business.
Yeah, you wind up being on the bad side of it.
Right,
So,
right.
you
And it's
know.
kind of crazy because you kind of advised Wayne the first time he was going through this, or tried to advise him.
Well, you saying going through this. This situation is not the same situation as mine.
Right.
This is an argument on his album coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was about money.
Right.
His album didn't come out.
But he's also talking about money.
That came after the album didn't come out.
Right.
If the album would have come out, I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
Have you heard the album?
Nah.
Okay.
You heard it?
Nah, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I wish I did.
I'm not that close like you are. man.
Nah, I ain't that close like you think. I see them. I I'm in New Orleans all the time.
Right. You did a movie recently, man.
Not really, like
I mean,
a couple years ago.
But it just came out.
Yeah,
Like but you did it with some big actors.
yeah.
You know, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken,
Christian Slater, Anthony
Anthony
Anderson.
Yeah, good look for me, right?
I mean, that's a big look, man.
Yeah,
The
got
Few.
it.
It's called The Few, right?
It's called Power to Few.
Power to Few. What was the
Yeah.
movie about, man?
It was kind of like Crash.
Right.
Different scenarios that happen that all wind up in the same place. Really like choices.
How did that happen, man? How did nobody expected Juvie be doing a Hollywood movie?
No, they came with that money.
Came with that bag.
How did that? But why did they select you? Like, well,
I guess because I'm in New Orleans.
right.
And
And it was based in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
shot in New Orleans. I'm in New Orleans. The schedule was kind of great, and I was the perfect person for that part for what they was trying to do.
Right. Did you enjoy the whole shooting process?
I have, man, working with Anthony Anderson. First of all, is fun.
Is he a funny dude, man?
He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Great
then,
spirit.
And then Christopher Walken.
Actor, professional. That's
How-
all he like. We didn't have too many conversations because
Right.
he straight up. He just into the movie. He into his role.
Right.
At all times.
And that's the king of New York, B.
Yeah, believe me. I told him that like 6 times. Like,
There's a
I
nickel
got some
bag
pictures.
sold in this park.
We got some pictures in, but we didn't have too many conversations because he was locked in.
Right. Now, I didn't hear much about the movie, but are there any other roles opening up for you, man? Is this thing gonna be
None.
regular?
I stink.
As an actor?
I stink as an actor. None.
Did you have any training with this, man?
Zero.
They didn't have like a coach on.
No, I mean, it's easy for me to be a nigga.
Right.
I mean,
Right. So you were
gonna
just
be the
you
nigga
just
driving
being-
the car.
You just
talking
being
shit.
yourself. Just play Juvenile.
Yeah, I don't.
and the whole nine.
They don't have to coach me to do that.
Right, but you
That's
got a
me.
SAG card. Congratulations.
Thank
right?
you, man.
Now, do you think you might, start doing more of it, man? Since
I
you
doubt it very seriously.
really,
Yeah, unless it's a rap.
right,
I'm on stage and I'm actually rapping. That kind of I gotta be me.
right. So,
Yeah.
and I read somewhere that the reason why you're looking at this like, maybe not, is because music is really your passion.
I love doing music. I don't want to do 20 different things
Right.
at one time.
Right. You're an older artist right now.
Yeah.
The world has changed. I mean, I don't take
The world is evolving.
world has changed, man. Like
Internets.
how do you think it's gonna be, man, to really make that comeback that you deserve?
You ain't heard me lately. I'm a monster.
I haven't heard you.
listen
Well,
to
I heard
that-
the Buku shit.
Go listen to that song. What Buku is a chip? That's an old record. It's
Right.
like 2-3 years old.
Really?
Yes.
I just heard it last year though.
Yes. So
We just hearing old shit. We got to listen to the new shit.
You gotta listen to me. I'm like, remember they say, "Have you driven a Ford lately?" Yeah, I'm off the chain, homie.
What zone are you in right now, man?
I don't call it a zone.
Right.
It's just Juve. I'm just natural, and I'm so good at what I do, my craft, man. I take it seriously.
Where do you get your craft from, Juvie?
Bunch of places. Little bit of reggae mixed in here, melodic feel. A little bit of Eric B and Rakim. A little bit of LL Cool J. A little bit of NWA. A little bit of everything.
You a musician, man? You play music?
I can play the drums a little bit. I can play the keyboard a little bit. I can play the guitar a little bit.
Okay.
I can't do nothing good.
Okay. Except put it all
Rap.
together.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
some concoction for success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So the mixtape. Tell us about the mixtape. It's coming out on the 26th.
It's coming out on the 26th, which is my birthday.
Okay.
And
March 26th.
March 26th.
Okay.
And the CD is all about all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the cats out of New Orleans. You know, it's just a gumbo pot of all New Orleans artists, local, young, old. You know,
it's called the Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
And it's celebrating that culture. And you got some outside artists on there, like you said?
Of course.
And the 26th?
26th of March, y'all. Make sure y'all download it. Listen to it. It's classic.
Anything else you got to share, man? Because, we got the label. Well, you got the management.
One more thing I got to tell y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go check out my pens, my vaporizers, and all my other products.
Wait. Tell us about this, man. I heard about this. you got a vape coming out, right?
Yeah, I got vapes out already.
Okay.
Yeah, you bought
some samples?
I don't hang.
You ain't bring no samples?
Nah.
What's the name of your vape? Your vaporizer?
You go to ruvape.com.
Okay.
It's called RU Vaped.
Okay.
And
that vape life is serious.
And what makes this different than everything else, man?
It's the cleanest way to smoke.
Okay.
It's the way it should smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No fumes, no nothing. Titanium coil, so it burn good. It's good.
Now, how did you get into this? How did you get involved with the vape business?
They came at me kind of like.
Right.
They came at me, and then when they came at me with that, one thing led to another. And now I'm kind of like in the forefront because now I'm into everything now, not just the vapes.
So is it an endorsement deal or are you an owner of the company? Like what kind of deal is it?
I'm an owner. I'm partial owner of not the company. My pen's on that side.
Okay.
But with all the other products, I'm doing both. A little small. I got like a little small percentage of my products are coming out. I even started my own THC company.
Really?
TG THC.
Like in terms of like a dispensary or something like that?
Well, just to have all these different products. Yeah, well, yeah, kind of like in terms of a
this is the
dispensary.
best time to do that, man.
Because that's what I'm chasing.
It's the best time to do that.
Yeah, I'm chasing that new money.
What's the situation in New Orleans? What's the situation down there in terms of like legalization in the whole nine?
We trying.
Right.
What's the situation in New York?
New York, I mean,
we trying.
We're trying, B. We're trying. We just got the police a little bit off our back, man. So we really trying.
Maine doing it.
Yeah,
Maine
is doing it.
Yeah.
Where else did I hear? Washington D.C.
Yeah.
I think Georgia. Yeah, D.C. doing it.
D.C., Jersey.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. So
forget about it.
Nah, congratulations on that.
Forget about it.
You got
coming in
about it,
on the
Juve.
right time, man.
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
Listen, Jersey, them motherfuckers get legalized. New York got to get legalized, and New Orleans got to get legalized.
Forget about it.
Forget about it, right? Juvenile, man, it's so good to meet you, man.
Same here.
You look happy, man.
I am happy. I'm married, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is a culmination of being married for a long time.
How long you been married?
You learn how to look happy even if you mad.
How long you been married, man?
11 years.
11 years. Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll tell you, being married, man, is a tough
married.
task. I mean, I'm divorced. That's the shit that. But wait.
Who wants to listen to you?
Yeah.
No. I hate. You know why?
I mean,
people can listen to
being
me.
married is great.
Sometimes people say like, you can't give me advice. You've been divorced. I'm like, motherfucker, I can tell you what not to do because I got divorced. You know what I mean? Like I know the fucking mistakes I made. But I'll tell you one thing I will say this from New York, man, is great to have you. I wish we could have had you longer pause. But
That's not a pause.
Yeah, but having him longer?
Yeah.
Of course it's a pause.
You guys
know what you
pause
say
game?
right? He said that's what she said.
You play the pause game?
Nah, but that sounded like a pause.
No, I want to say this. Like growing up from New York and really having that influence from the South. Like, like I was speaking with G-Rock today, who was telling me, a friend of mine from Atlanta, a friend of the show, and how he was saying, like, if you grew up listening to Southern hip hop, like you're a living legend. Like, and it's amazing that you were able to, like, not only build on top of that, but then cross over to over here, So it's a pleasure, like, to have Juvie on, because for real talk, we've been documenting this culture for so many years already, and it's just, there's a lot of artists that need to, like, get into that incubator. And here's this Juvie episode.
Yes, sir, man. I'm looking forward to the Mardi Gras on March 26th.
Listen to that music, man.
I'm going to listen to the music, man. Continued success. Listen, internets, you know what it is, man. Dream those dreams and then man up and live those dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white, and the universe flows in technicolor and surround sound.
Blow! Cheer.
Illuminati!
This episode of the Combat Jack Show was produced by Jonathan Mena, executive produced by A. King and Chris Morrow, engineered by Samir Karan, and recorded in the Engine Room Audio Studio in downtown Manhattan. This is an official Loudspeakers Networks production. Yo, what's up with that motherfucker that hit me today on
Yo,
Instagram?
and then you see Dallas put that I know where the Benghazi spots are.
Bandulu.
Nah, at first he said Bandulu for you, and then the Haitian. Yo, that shit had me dying.
What's a bond? What you talking?
Bandulu is
So
kind of like a
somebody hit me
Fugazi.
today from London. They came from London, and I guess they listened to the show, so they came to New York. They said, "All I got is sneakers on. Where can I find some cheap Timbs or some Bandulu, which is fake Timbs?"
He got wet foot, he
And I
said.
was like, "Man, don't ask me what. I don't know what a fake Timbs are."
Yeah. Like you promoting fake.
Like yo, let's go
Bandulis.
find Bandulu.